How's it going, everyone? Want to go over a couple of PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5 game updates in this video. The Callisto Protocol, one of my most anticipated games for the rest of this year. And I know there's not a ton of games coming for the rest of the year, but honestly, there is, even though we've only got a couple of months left. But the Callisto Protocol, to me, for being a brand new IP and it coming right before the Dead Space remake, I could have thought that that would have hurt the game a little bit, but man, this is a game that has completely jumped out at me and really become one of my top anticipated games for the rest of the year. Like I said, we just got a brand new trailer on it, The Truth of Black Iron. We'll talk a little bit about that. The Inquisitor is a brand new RPG, a story-driven dark fantasy RPG coming in Q4 of 2023. We'll talk about that. And a pretty interesting puzzle game in the Entropy Center will be coming on November the 3rd. Lower key title there, but the game looks pretty interesting and has some unique gameplay mechanics, so we'll talk that at the end of this video. But as I mentioned at the top, everybody I talk to that knows about the Callisto Protocol seems to be incredibly excited for it. For a new IP being done by a studio, you know, like, it's not a studio everybody knows about, Striking Distance Studios. I know that there's some talented developers in that studio. However, for a brand new IP to come out, and it's not like a PlayStation exclusive or an Xbox exclusive or anything like that, and it has really captured the interest of a lot of people, and that's awesome to me. Like, this is exactly the kind of game that I would be excited for. A single-player, terrifying game that's probably not going to be 87 hours in length. Look, I'm down for the 87-hour games here and there, but games like A Plague Tale Requiem and the Callisto Protocol being more story-driven single-player titles that I can get in and get out and have a good time with, that, again, aren't these massive open worlds. I think there's absolutely a market for these kinds of games. So we just got a brand new trailer, The Truth of Black Iron. The trailer sets a really good tone for the game, and I feel like that's one of the elements that has really hooked people into this game. Tone, as well as the atmosphere, the thematics of the game. It's an incredibly dark game, and from an action standpoint, like, the gameplay looks great as well, but as far as being an immersive game, when it comes to a horror title like this, and, you know, a game that is trying to capture you into it, I feel like the atmosphere is the #1 element of the game, and based on the footage we've seen thus far, I feel like the Callisto Protocol has absolutely nailed that. The game will be released on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. It is described as a next-generation horror title, but yeah, it is going to be a cross-gen game, which is nice to see, you know. I know a lot of people are still rocking with their PS4. It'll be interesting to see how the game runs on that platform, because visually, I have to say the game is quite impressive, so again, we'll see how that turns out. The game is noted to be a narrative-driven third-person survival horror game set 300 years in the future. The player will take on the role of Jacob Lee, a victim of fate thrown into Black Iron Prison, a maximum security penitentiary located on Jupiter's moon, Callisto. When inmates begin to transform into monstrous creatures, the prison is thrown into chaos. To survive, Jacob must battle his way to safety to escape Black Iron Prison while uncovering the dark and disturbing secrets buried beneath the surface of Callisto. Using a unique blend of shooting and close-quarter combat, Jacob will need to adapt his tactics to combat the rapidly evolving creatures while scavenging to unlock new weapons, gear, and abilities to outrun the outgrowing threat and escape the horrors of Jupiter's dead moon. The game is scheduled for release on December 2nd, so this is going to be one of those games that is going to be released towards the end of the year, right after Black Friday as well. I don't really see that impacting the game's success. Like, the people that are interested in this game, I think, are just gonna buy this game even if they're bled out of money during Black Friday, if they're buying a lot of games during that period. I think it'll be fine. There are a lot of games coming out in December, though. Callisto Protocol, Crisis Core, Final Fantasy VII, some pretty good stuff dropping at the end of the year. Rumors have it that Need for Speed's gonna be dropping in December as well, so we'll see how that turns out. But again, Callisto Protocol, being a brand new IP, really stoked for what this game could end up being, and really hoping Striking Distance Studios, you know, kind of gets their name out there with this title, and I really think they have the potential to do that with this game. Alright, moving on from that, The Inquisitor launches Q4 of 2023. Now, I talked about this game when it was initially announced, but the game just picked up a publisher in Calypso Media, and developer The Dust have announced the release window of Q4 2023. Now, this is a game that's coming out for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and PC, and let's not mince words here. I am really, like, interested in how games are decided on being next-gen exclusives and being cross-gen titles, because when you look at The Inquisitor, I mean, this isn't a game that's gonna blow you away from a visual standpoint, but I'm sure there's other underlying elements of game development as far as what platforms it's going to hit outside of just pure raw visuals. But the game is by no means blow away, and we've seen a couple games like that have been next-gen only titles or announced as next-gen only titles, so I do find that a little bit interesting given the fact it is scheduled for Q4 of 2023. I feel like at that point, like, fingers crossed, maybe I'm just hoping for bad luck here, but I feel like at that point, like, everybody's gonna have a next-gen console. And at that point, it is going to be as easy as walking into a store and picking one up. Fingers crossed, knock on wood here. But yeah, let's hope that is the case. The Inquisitor is a story-driven dark fantasy adventure game with action elements and difficult moral choices that seems to be the drawing component of the game. Be the ultimate holy judge and jury. Your role as an Inquisitor is to maintain order and enforce the faith in God, but the world is full of sinners who have lost their way. Decide the fates of those you judge in multiple story-driven cases and missions. This is a world where morality and what is right have long strayed from each other. So will you show mercy or undying belief in holy law? Again, very much a narrative-driven game, but it does have a lot of action elements as well. Keep the game on your radar. It'll be interesting to see what the game is priced at, but we're talking a game that's a year away, so, you know, take that release window with a grain of salt. You guys know how the gaming world works at this point. Things get delayed at the drop of a dime, so yeah, for now, Q4 2023. Lastly, I do want to give you guys a heads up on a game called the Entropy Center. This is a game that I had known about for a little while, but I did not know it was coming out this soon. So it's scheduled for a release on November the 3rd. Look, I'm not the biggest fan of puzzle titles, but this one, from a gameplay standpoint, looks incredibly unique. The game notes, think in reverse, outsmart the impossible, a mind-bending first-person adventure where you solve ingenious and complex puzzles by rewinding objects through time. Whenever I see a sci-fi first-person puzzle game, I'm always inclined to think of, like, the Talos Principle, and that was a game I really dug. Definitely getting, like, some Portal vibes here as well, and from a gameplay standpoint, again, it's pretty interesting. Manipulate time to your will and solve ingeniously challenging puzzle rooms, each one taking you closer to the heart of a colossal space station in orbit of Earth. An extinction level event has set the world ablaze. You appear to be the last remaining person alive. Mankind's only hope lies at the core of the Entropy Center. Meet Astra, the Entropy Center's most advanced technical marvel. It's an AI-powered device that can scan an object's space-time chronology and move it through the past. Powers include rebuilding collapsing pillars to reheating cups of tea. She's pretty chill. So, game is scheduled for a release on November 3rd. A demo is available on PC via Steam, and the game isn't too difficult to run at all. Far from it. So you can check that out, but the game will officially be released on November 3rd. PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Xbox Series, Xbox One, and PC. Again, it's been in development for a little bit now, but it's finally on the way, and a game I'm sure is going to get lost in the shuffle given that you've got a billion of big titles. I mean, November, that early period of November, you've got like Sonic Frontiers, God of War, just off the top of my head. End of October, you've got Plague Tale Requiem, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. It's just going to be bonkers. So, you know, some of these games are definitely going to get lost in the shuffle a little bit, but if you want something a little bit different, maybe keep it on your wish list, pick it up down the line. And that's going to do it for me. Again, the Callisto Protocol. I think this is going to be one of the best games of the year. Maybe that's pushing the cart before the horse a little bit too much. I do that a bit sometimes, but man, I am really liking what I'm seeing out of the game, and for a new IP, I see a lot of potential out of this one, and really hoping it does do well. The Inquisitor will be dropping in Q4 of 2023, and the Entropy Center drops on November the 3rd. That's going to do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. As always, thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.